everyone. In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a funky techno track on the Korg Volca Sample. I'll be using stock samples that come preloaded onto the factory settings of the Volca. That way, you can start making techno beats just like this one right out of the box. But if you do want some different samples than those that come preloaded onto the Volca, I've got a couple sample packs for free for you, and I've linked those in the description. I'd also be very grateful if you could check out some of my original music on Spotify. I use a lot of the same principles that I cover in these videos to make that music. And finally, please feel free to give me a follow on social media like TikTok and Instagram, where I post other Volca and music production tips. Let's start by bringing our tempo up to around 140 or 145. I'm at 145.5, that's fine for now. And we'll take our swing to 20. What that will do is nudge the even values just a little further to the right, giving it a little bit more groove. Let's find our kick sample. We want to start with something kind of on the short side. This kick is nice and bassy, but the tail is a bit too long. Let's take down that decay. Around 35 is good, nice and punchy. We'll go to step mode. Let's put that on steps 1, 5, 9, and 13. On slot 2, let's find a snare. This one's pretty good. Let's take down that decay a bit more. .40 is good. We want something short and snappy. I'll go to step mode. We'll put that on steps 5 and 13. In slot 3, we'll put an open hat. I like this one, but I don't really like that closing sound at the end. Let's take down the length. Around 85 is good. Now let's adjust the decay. Around 50. I'll go to step mode, and we're going to put that on every step except for steps 1, 5, 9, and 13. And we're going to take the volume level way down. But on steps 3, 7, 11, and 15, we're going to take that volume all the way back up. So I'll hold down step 3, turn up the volume, and do the same for steps 7, 11, and 15. Let's give that a listen. I like doing it this way because it gives it a little bit more groove and movement rather than just putting a plain open hi-hat on every third step. Let's go to step 4 and find a shaker. I'm going to go to step mode, put that shaker on steps 1, 5, 9, and 13, and I'm going to turn the looping function on by holding function and loop. Let's give that a listen. Kind of messy, and as you can hear, the shaker just continues to loop out even as the track keeps playing, and it's not even in sync. But we can fix that. I'll adjust the length of the sample to about 119, and let's give that a listen. At least now it's in time with the beat, but it's not really that interesting sounding, not to me at least. So let's take that decay down a bit. Let's try 60. How about 50? Let's mute our open hi-hat and see how that sounds with just the kick and the snare. I like that it adds a little bit of shuffle and a little bit of energy on steps 1, 5, 9, and 13. Let's exit step mode, go to slot 5. Now let's find a closed hi-hat. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's an open hi-hat sample, but we're going to take the decay all the way down to about 20. And let's move up the start time a bit to about 3. In fact, let's take that decay down a bit more to 15. Now, there's a reason I'm using a slightly longer sample than just a regular closed hi-hat, and I'll show you that in a little bit. Let's put that closed hi-hat on every step. Give that a listen. And here's the reason why I'm using a longer sample. As I play out the beat, I can turn that decay up, which will add a little bit of movement and intensity to the overall pattern. Let's go to slot 6. Now I think we need some kind of instrumental sample. Since this is a techno track, maybe we need an organ stab of some kind. Let's see what we've got. I'm not sure exactly what instrument that is, but I like it and I think it's going to work. And I'm actually going to just record that in manually and see what we can come up with. So I'll play my pattern and I'll record in step 6 manually. Okay, not sounding great. Let's go to step mode and make some adjustments. Let's move the sample from step 4 to step 5. And maybe from 13 to 12. Let's give that a listen. Why don't we take step 16 and put it on 13? All right, I think what we need to do is take that decay way down. Let's exit step mode. Let's try around 90. No, even more. How about 50? Probably more. How about 35? That's better. It's got a little bit of a click at the very beginning. I'm going to move the start point up. Around 12 to 13 sounds pretty good. Let's give that a listen. I like where the steps are at, but it's a bit boring. Let's turn step 13 up 1 or 2 semitones. So I'll hold down step 13, function, and let's move the speed knob up. Let's try 1 semitone. I do like how that sounds, but it's a bit harsh. Let's take the high cut frequency down a bit. I think we might even need to take the decay down a little more. Let's go down to 30. Let's find a bass sample. That one's pretty good. The very beginning is a bit harsh, so I'm going to take the attack up. Around 15 is good. I think that tail is a bit long as well. Let's take the decay down to about 90. How about 80? Let's go to step mode, and I'm going to put that bass sample on steps 1, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, and 15. Let's give that a listen. I like how that sounds, but let's take the high cut frequency all the way down. Gives us some really nice sub bass. Let's take that decay down even more to about 60. To make this a bit more interesting, let's pitch up and down some of these steps. I'll go to step 5. Let's pitch that up just 1 semitone to start. How about 2 semitones? Let's also pitch step 13 up 2 semitones. Let's go to slot 9 and find a perc sample. Nice. I don't really love that click at the beginning, so let's take the start time up. Around 40, 45 is good. Let's go to step mode. I'll put that on steps 2, 4, and 8. Sounding okay. Let's take the pitch of step 4 down a bit. Let's try 1 semitone. We're getting there. Let's take step 8 up 2 semitones. Almost. How about we take step 8 up 4 semitones? Let's go to slot 10 and find another instrumental sample. I kind of like that synthy sort of sample. Let's go to step mode, and we'll put that on steps 9, 15, and 16. I like the placement, but I think that we need to take the decay down quite a bit. Let's go down to about 90. I think we should take it down even more. Let's try 60. I think we could pitch this up a little bit. Why don't we pitch it up about 8 semitones? Let's actually take that decay down even more. Let's go to about 40. Okay, and how about we pitch step 16 up just another 2 semitones? Let's actually make step 15 kind of a ghost note. So what we'll do is hold down step 15 and we're going to take that decay all the way down to about 15. Let's give that a listen. To make step 15 even more subtle, let's take the pitch all the way down to 0. Let's also take the high cut frequency of the sample down. How about we try starting at 70? Let's take it up just a bit. How about 85? Great, we've got most of our pattern in there. I'm going to save it by holding function and memory, hitting slot 3. Let's put some reverb on a few of these samples. I'm definitely going to put reverb on slot 10. So I'll hold function, reverb, hit slot 10, turn up that reverb mix a bit. I'll solo that out so you can hear it on its own. I'll hold function, solo, slot 10. Cool. Let's unsolo that. Why don't we also put some reverb on the snare? So I'll hold function, reverb, hit the snare sample. I think our other instrumental sample needs some reverb as well. So we'll go to slot 6, function, reverb, hit slot 6. We've got a really solid, funky sort of techno beat going on now. Let's jam on it a bit.